What is good, guys? What is good? Hey, man, I remember making a video and I talked about how Detroit's Super Bowl window hasn't closed. And a lot of people disagreed. There were some people who agreed. There was a lot of people who also disagreed. And I kind of started, you guys kind of swayed me. So some of you out there that were saying that, you kind of swayed me. I'm like, maybe they're right, dude. Maybe they missed their window. The more I got thinking about it, I was sitting at work today. I was like, nah, hell no, dude. Hell no, the Detroit Lions haven't missed their window. I'm like, this team is still stacked, bro. Like they haven't missed their window. And it's like kind of a tale of two stories, because you got the offense and you got the defense. I mean, there's teams that we've seen this with, right? We see it with the Cincinnati Bengals. Although their defense is way worse than Detroit's. I'm just saying that right now. They're not in the same tier. But the Detroit Lions defense still isn't the best, right? Like we know that. And like what could it be? Like maybe Aaron Glenn leaving, as good as he coached, maybe his calling was just staying with the Detroit Lions, because we know how it's been going with the New York Jets. But you look at their defense this past year, and I know that they dealt with injuries in Detroit last year with Aaron Glenn. Oh, I guess 2 years ago, right? We're in 2026. But the season with Aaron Glenn, they dealt with injuries. And this season too, they dealt with injuries. And my thing with Detroit Lions defense is I'm like, bro, they got talent on the defensive side. Like they really do, in my opinion. You got Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. You got Terrion Arnold, who bro needs to up his game for sure. But I'm like, there's still some potential there, though. Then you have Reed on the other side. You got Campbell, the middle linebacker, Anzalone. Like these are guys who can ball out any Sunday, Monday, Thursday night football game. You just never know, right? Any Sunday, these guys can just show up. And then they have along with Reeder, Aiden Hutchinson. And Aiden Hutchinson is literally a rising star as a pass rusher. Now, the biggest thing with the Detroit Lions right now is it's like, okay, well, you need to pair up another pass rusher with Aiden Hutchinson. That's what a lot of people are saying. And I totally agree. Because I'm like, you can't expect Aiden Hutchinson to do everything and just expect things to be good in, not only in the passing game as a rusher, but in the run game too, right? But I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like I look at this team just the way it is with Aiden, and I'm like, look at the San Francisco 49ers. As soon as Nick Bosa went out, we saw how bad the San Francisco 49ers pass rush was. And that, I wouldn't say that was necessarily the case with the pass rush, because Aiden was still doing his thing out there. But I'm like, you just need another solid guy. He doesn't even have to be like good. He just needs to be solid to apply some pressure, because you can't have one dude doing it all. You know what I mean? But this defensive unit, they're talented in my opinion. Do they need to add more talent? Absolutely. Do they need more depth on the defensive side? Yeah, hell yeah. I think they need more depth. But, like I said, maybe it's Aaron Glenn. Maybe it's Aaron Glenn not being there and having a change with a DC who is in-house. And there's a lot of people who like kind of feel some type of way about in-house hires. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't work, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm wrong, bro, but it feels like when in-house hires in the NFL don't work, it's shit, right? Like you're talking about a season full of just absolute shit on the offensive side or the defensive side. And with the Detroit Lions, there was at times their defense was like, they played good. I thought at times they played good, but like during the course of the season, it's like, holy shit, bro. It's like the offense can't keep doing what they're doing and the defense just not doing enough, right? Because they just weren't under Kelvin Shepherd. And Kelvin Shepherd, I know some people feel some type of way. I like that the Detroit Lions brought him back, and I'm also worried for them, because I'm like, bro, if it's bad, it'll be bad, and people, you know what I mean? It'll literally be the same thing that we saw this past season. But you go from the defense, we talk about the defense, you look at the offense, and with their offense, I think the Detroit Lions are as good as anybody. I really do. This is a very talented offense, dude. A lot of people shit on Jared Goff. I like Jared Goff. I think you can win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. Hell, I think if Detroit were to, just improve their roster just a little bit more, which is already a good roster, I don't see any reason why they couldn't be in the NFC Championship game 2 times in the next 4 to 5 years. Like I just don't think it'd be that crazy. You got Jamison Williams. who had a good year. You got Amon-Ra, both 1,000-yard wide receivers. Got Jahmyr Gibbs, right? They got rid of David Montgomery, in which I do think they do need to pick up another running back, because that change of pace with Jahmyr Gibbs along with David Montgomery, I thought it was money. I absolutely love offenses that do that type of shit. It's just fun. But yeah, no, dude, they got guys, and their offensive line, their offensive line really stepped up. I harped on them at the first of the season, and they showed up, and they showed why they were one of the best. Like, people talk about Penne. He's that dude at right tackle. He's that dude. Like, that's a guy you can build off of, right? And the one, also they got Laporta. Can't forget about Laporta. But the one guy that I think should be interesting this upcoming season with the Detroit Lions is Tesla. Like, dude, I'm like, this rookie is, what do you have, like 3 or 4 touchdowns? I'm like, this dude is being underutilized, and I'm like, I think there is a lot more they can do with this guy. I think the Detroit Lions, aside from along with Tesla, I think they have 3 very good wide receivers in a very tough NFC North with really good wide receivers, right? Not Green Bay, but yeah. No, dude, I mean, they're stacked. They're stacked on the offensive side, and they are stacked on the defensive side. And the crazy thing is, in this past year, is I thought it was kind of crazy that Dan Campbell was like, hey, I'm going to take over for play calling. I know it didn't end up working, but dude, at times, does anybody agree with me? At times, it was like, yo, Dan's calling he's calling some pretty money plays right now. So I think you take Dan's mind and just him doing what he did, and keep in mind, he's a CEO head coach. He doesn't offensive play call or defensive play call. The ship was just selling, so he just took over, and I absolutely love that, by the way. But now, they hired this guy from Arizona, Drew Petzing, and the Arizona Cardinals, they weren't a good team, but they still had good things going on offense at times. So I think you get a roster like the Detroit Lions. I think there's a lot of creative things he can do with that roster, bro. There is a lot of speed on that roster. Let's be real here. But I'm excited for Detroit, because I'm like, dude, I feel like they're just a couple moves away from this team being very scary for the whole NFC and possibly competing for a Super Bowl. I just don't think that their window is closed, especially how dominant that offense is. That offense can go out and score points with anybody. That's why we're just talking about the defense. Obviously, we need to see the defense step up and make plays, because your chances of winning a championship with the defense that gives up a lot of points is just not very high, right? But I mean, dude, we're talking about offense. 10th best scoring offense at 28.3, 5th offense in yards per game, 374, 3rd in passing, 254. And all you people that talk shit on Jared Goff, bro, well, calm down, all right? Calm down. But I just don't think an offense like that with a defense with just a couple tunes, couple little kinks, I don't think that's a Super Bowl window closed, in my opinion. I just don't. I think they're too talented. They have a really good leader. Make a couple changes. Yes, they're in the NFC North. I understand that. But this team is built better than most teams in the NFL, man. That's all I'm going to say. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe to your boy. All we do is talk football here. But yeah, guys, appreciate you watching. It's your boy Shady Luke, and I am outie. Deuces.